Once a file has been attached, there are a few different ways that the file's parameters can be used with behavior. Each file attachment has three parameters: the attachment ID, the attachment name, and the attachment file. All three of these parameters can be used with behavior. This tutorial will demonstrate the basic methods that can be used. In order to save time, we have already built the form, which you can see has a file attachment object into which we will attach a file. We also have two text input objects to capture the ID and name, and a second file attachment object into which we will copy the previously attached file. We also have three buttons that will be used to clearly trigger the behavior. However, in a real scenario, you would probably use different events to trigger the behavior. In our first example, we have used a setField command to copy the attached file ID into the first text input field. The target field is the file ID, and the value is the file attachment ID, which, as you can see, can be selected from the file attachment object. Our next two examples are already set up in a very similar way, but using the different parameters available. Our second example will copy the file name into the second text input field. And the third example will copy the file into the other file attachment object. Now we can test the logic in preview mode. To start with, we do need to attach a file. Our first example will copy the file ID into the text input field. This ID is unique within the system and is used to identify the attached file. There are a few ways that this can be useful, and some of those will be covered in other tutorials. In particular, look out for the tutorial on working with pictures. Our second example will copy the name of the attached file into the corresponding field. And our final example can be used to copy the attached file into a different file attachment object. In normal circumstances, this could be useful if you want an attached file to be accessible in different pages of a form. Although we have only covered the basic methods used to extract the parameters from the file attachment object, we are sure that you will find the techniques useful in various different scenarios.